Welcome viewers, this is Danny from Lego Buff Productions, here with my latest mock, and this is the Lego Star Wars Separatist Prison Outpost. And I gotta say, this mock is ginormous. This is the largest mock I've ever made, and again, I cannot thank you guys enough. This mock would never be able to be made without your support. So without further ado, let's take a closer look at this awesome mock. So first off, I'll be giving you a quick walk around of the entire mock. So on the top you can see a gunship has landed here on the plateau. A bunch of clones are unloading. There we have the mountain. And then I'll give you a quick side view of the awesome features you'll soon see in this incredible mock. And then you will see what these are for in a little bit. You see these weird grass pieces right here that move. Those are to deploy some droids. And then here you can see a ramp that goes all the way into the base there. That's what the corporate's coming out on. Again, you see these weird pieces right there on the sides. And it's pretty much the same on this side. So here we have some grass in the front also. And then it kind of gets a little more rocky as we approach the mountain. So for these strange platforms on the sides, you simply swivel off the top grass part. Those just swivel easily to the side there. And then the platform below can come up. And then it just latches onto these bricks right here from the side. And you can see it is holding a bunch of droids. And now this arm also can come down and it can deploy the droids that way. I'll give you a closer look here. So there you can see the droids being deployed there again, closer look. And again, this just comes right up like that. And then it also just goes down below the ground. And then the grass piece on top just swivels right on over the opening, so nobody will notice that droids were coming out of the ground there. Now the really cool part about this mock is almost all of it is modular, which means each piece can be taken off part by part. So I'm going to start off with the roof here. I'm just going to take off the gunship. And then this entire platform of green can be lifted off. It's all one piece. You can see the clones there on the front. One giant grass piece. And now we'll take a look at what's inside on the first floor. So this is the first floor, and it is a power plant and a little droid workshop. So there you can see it backs right up to the mountain there. And this is the power plant room, or the power generator area. You can see the 4 generators surrounding the main power core right here. There's a better look at that. You can see it's one massive room, and that wall detailing is on both sides. And then when we go into the side rooms there, we can see there are some steps there. And then there's a little stand that's on a wheel, actually, that you can roll. And if you don't knock over the steps there, you can roll it and it goes, so you can load onto the steps as a droid is doing there. And you can see that wheel there. There's a better look at that. And again, you can just wheel it like so. On both sides, we have a droid workshop. This one is currently being used. We have a little robot guy there fixing up a droid. We have some droid torsos there, some droid heads. And then in the back here, we have a thing with legs and arms. It's the exact same on that side. You have that awesome chair for the droids. And then also, we have these doors for the elevator, which goes all the way to the bottom where the droids go. So you can see the droids can get on there. And actually, the elevator arrived over here. But we'll take a quick look at that right after we look at how these steps exit. So as you may have noticed, there's a mountain right there in front of them. And the cool function of the mountain is right here. This door opens. It's the exact same on this side. This opens up right there. And you can see there's a nice hallway. I'll take the steps out so you can see that. it just goes right on out to the battlefield there. So you get a really nice view right there. So the droids can load up on the steps, and they can just fly on out of there and into battle. Now I'll give you a quick look at that from the outside. And here's the outside view of the mountain door that can just simply open up. You can see all the way through in there, and then you can see the steps just slide right out. There's nothing prohibiting them from exiting there, and they can fly right into battle there, which is just awesome. Now, as I mentioned before, the base is all modular, so that means that the mountain can simply lift right off there, and now we can get a better view onto the inside of the base. So now you can get a better look at the power plant now that the mountain's gone there. I removed the steps just so you can see a little bit better inside of here. There's the Droid Workshop, and there you can kind of see the base part below there. So, as I mentioned before, there's an elevator right there. I moved the droid out of the way so you can hopefully see inside there. There's a little platform right inside of there. And the way this works is I simply release this part right here and then just slide the elevator. You can see it's all going down there. And I just push it down to whichever point. There's a unloading point there. And then also that's the base of it. Alright, so now it's time to take off the power plant 4. We already looked at that. So, I'm just going to come over here, lift it up from the sides, and it pops right off of there very, very nicely. And now that the mountain and power plant are gone, I'm going to remove the final part, that's his grass plane. And this is the only part that is not modular. So unfortunately, I'm just going to have to peel off. They're connected in large sections, the plates, but they're all not connected together. So just to give you a last look at this. Again, these all swivel to the side there. Really cool there. Opening up for those droids. And as we go below, you'll be able to see what's all underneath here. So let's move on to that. So there's a great view of how the MOC now looks with all the floors taken off. So this entire area would be completely underground. So now there's a ton to show you guys. So I'll start off all the way in the back here. And this is the second floor of kind of a droid command center. So here we have this little droid command booth right here with glass looking out into the main hangar area. So we have 3 droids controlling computers, and those controlled the covers that opened up on the grass on top to let those droid carrier parts out. So that's what those 3 controls are for. There's 2 doors on the sides. Those little lights will glow red or green when they open up the door. It's red right now because the door is closed. And here over here, it's the exact same room for these 3 doors on this side to open up on the top of the grass. It's the exact same control room right there. Got 3 droids. Again, red right there because the door is closed. You have some little design work right there. And then this is the main room. This is the only way to enter and exit the base, which is through the ramp. Because that's how you get in and out of the base. The elevators will take you up to the power plant. And I guess you could technically enter in through the mountain if the power plant doors are open. But the main entrance is this ramp right here. And that's what these 2 droids are controlling right there. It's a larger control system, more sophisticated. And then we have this high-tech security unit. So not just anybody can enter, only select droids. And then over here, we just have a kind of security desk that this clone is monitoring, and that's all the prisoner activity below. As I mentioned, this is a Separatist prison, so not just an outpost, a prison. And that's where we get to on this side. And so below ground, you'll see we have a mine going on here. You'll get a better view of that when I pull off all these floors. However, they bring up some of the minerals, and they're basically making these gold bars, and you can see them in this. I'll move this clone out of the way. This crate right here. You can see all those gold bars in there. So pretty much this clone is, after he takes out the gold from these pipes, which you'll see he's extracting the gold from in a little bit, then he will put them into this oven right there, and this oven actually rotates. On the side you can see that gear sticking out. So I'll turn the camera around. Hopefully you can see there. That's pretty good. And you can see there's a black cylinder piece right there. They're baking the gold into bars now, and it's gonna fall off, but I'll just simply push my finger down on the gear there, right there. And as I do that, this entire thing rotates. So that's a really cool feature. It's really hard to figure that out, but I think it looks awesome there. It's the exact same on this side. Just gonna put my finger behind it and rotate, and you can see how that rotates there. And then there's also a little control panel. This clone is just turning on the oven. And then when they push the crates of gold over, there's these. So then they take the crates of the final product, the gold bars, and they put them through this high-tech transferring unit. They just slide them right under there. And it's a very snug fit, and they made it like that so that the clones cannot get through there. It's just the crate. And then once the crate goes fully through, it slides back down. It's there. And then also on this side. It's awesome. And then the Separatists can bring the crates over here, and then they can send them down to the storage unit on the level below them, and they can use the elevator for that. So I'll just bring the elevator up here real quick. Again, I'm just sliding it up on the side, and then it locks in right there. There's a better look at that. They can put the gold bars into the elevator. Like so. And then the elevator can bring it to the level below. And now I'll be taking off this, but real quick, just to show you, again, these things that store the gold before they melt them into bars are stored in here while they're waiting to go into the oven. So let's take off this floor. And again, here's just a quick look at the front there. It's awesome with those cool glass panels and very nice detailing. It's the same on the back. So let's take those off and see what we got. This whole section is just one piece, comes right off. And then also these two smaller pieces on the sides also come right off. So I have one there and one there. Take those off, and now let's look into the floor below. And this is where most of the action is going on. So we'll start off on this side, and basically you'll see in a little bit these cranes right here pull up a mine cart, and then that will dump it onto this here, and these are all heaters. It's the exact same on this side, all heaters, and then it goes into a draining area, and then that the remains go into this fiery pit, and that's what is underneath those ovens. So that'll power the oven. If you can see this view right here, the oven was right above here, so the heat would power it. So basically, the diamonds will melt as they come down here, and the other golds and that sort of thing that they want. It'll go through here. You can see it turned from diamonds into studs there. They're trickling down their way through there. And then the remains, which is basically just charcoal and that sort of thing, are being swept into this fiery pit. And then those will be burned up and make fuel to heat the gold to melt it into bars. So now I will take off this entire conveyor belt part right here. And here you can see that this is below the conveyor belt part. This is below the part with the crates in it right there. And the remaining gems will trickle down through here. And they'll follow this area nice and smooth into this area, and that's where they put them into these canisters. There's 3 loading stations. Those clones are loading one right there. These clones are picking up one on the side there. See the staircase that is to go up to the oven room. So they'll load up all the gems. They'll kind of twist it. You can see there's holes in here that'll pick out the gems that they don't want until they get the exact gem they're looking for, and then they can heat it into bars when they get to the oven. Now, on the other side of the wall, this is the droid, the second half of the droid command post area. And you can see they're trying to keep the prisoners separated, and you'll see that especially on the bottom floor. So you can see there's a giant wall between the hallways. So these clones do not know that those clones exist. So they don't want a rebellion, so they're trying to keep the clones' knowledge very small. So as you can see over here, we have kind of a containment area where clones coming in for capture or just droids go through this wall right here. See, it's a laser wall. Then the clones go into this holding cell kind of. There's a droid right there, droid commander, checking to make sure everything's all right. They all have handcuffs on. There's some commando droids with them. And then once this door closes, they're checked through, make sure they're all right. Then this door will open, and they'll be escorted to their jail cells. Over here, we have a little command unit, and this is monitoring the production of the bars and just the mining underneath. Here's a storage room for the gold bars. It's the identical on the other side. And you can see this door just comes right up, like so. And then here's a gun safe, or a vault, I guess you could say. And you just type in the code, you twist this, and then it opens up right there, and then you can see a bunch of guns. And then on the back, you can see the detailing of that door. It's like a lock mechanism right there. And then this little speeder thing is what they used to move the gold bricks because they're super heavy. So on the back is a little magnetic thing that attaches to the crates, and it can pull them into the storage rooms. Again, it's the exact same on that side. And this is the bottom of the elevator, so you can see both elevators are at the bottom. There's also a sliding door that they can just slide over like so, and that closes it when they're not using the elevator. And the key to that is they have this machine right here. So if any clones were to sneak into this command post, somehow get into the elevator and try to escape that way, because in order to open up the ramp, you have to get into the command post floor above. This part converts oil, which they're drilling underneath here, and it vaporizes it. So it's like a gas of an oil, so the gas version of an oil. And so that way it oils down the droid's joints, so like the areas where the arms are connected and that sort of thing, so the droids can operate more clearly. And then if a clone were to get into there, it would kill them because they would not be able to survive under those conditions. So that's what this little thing is for right there. It's the exact same. So it's another security measure. This place is all about high-tech security. So now this little part controls the crane. You can see the droid is operating that one. And in order to show you that to its fullest, I'm going to go ahead and take off this entire floor right there. Alright, so now I will lift off this entire section, and this is the sturdiest part of the MOC because it has to support all the floors above it. So it's very well built. You might see the figures are falling over in there, but I'm just going to set this entire thing in the front here. And now we can take a closer look at what's behind it. So this is the main prison area. You can see all the cells there. Here we have bricks for Chris, life bricks, and there's my sig fig. And we have some other clones sleeping in their cells. They're very basic. It's just these generic beds in there. This clone is jumping rope to stay fit. These clones are lifting weights right there. This is the oil pump that I was talking about earlier. So they're drilling oil out of the ground. So there's 3 pumps on this side, 3 pumps on that side. It's the exact same on this side. Those clones are fixing the drill right there. This is the little control unit that they're fixing. That just makes sure all the pumps are working properly. They pump the oil into this canister. You can see there's clear glass there. And then that's what goes up and goes into the elevator, and then the rest is just stored, and they can sell that or do whatever they want. Now there's also a mine below this floor into that area, and there's a lot of fumes coming out of there, so they have these air purifiers just so the clones don't die, so they can use the prisoners to keep working for them, and they don't have to keep getting new ones, and that guy's fixing it. And then there's 2 droid guards on each entrance into the mine. And then also there's a stairwell right there to go up to the next floor. And now I'm going to show you how this works right here. So now here's the minecart mechanism. On the other side I have a little gear that I'm just going to twist up, and that's going to twist this chain right here. It's going to pull up the minecart from below in the mine there. And you can see here's the minecart. And now this Separatist utility vehicle, that's what I'm calling it. It's all custom right here. It's going to drive over, and then it's going to attach this end of its little crane to it. That just attaches right on the bottom there of the minecart, and then it would detach the lifting crane, and then it can drive away. Now I'll give you a better view of that. So here's what it looks like right when it pulls away, and then the crane can also extend upwards. And I'm just going to quick bring this over here to the front, and this is the floor that would be right next to this, up there, right there. So this would be the floor next to where the minecart comes up, and I took it off already. But here, the utility vehicle would come around. It would extend its crane upwards. It can also carry the minecart like so. It stays like that. And all the gems are in here, and they need to melt them. So it would just come over here to this red heating belt, and it's just going to go ahead and dump it all out on there. And you can see that the gems just go right on down the heating belt, and they can get heated and melted down and then turn into the bars there. You can see them all going down the heating belt there. So that's pretty cool. And now we'll move on to the other parts of the hangar. All right, so as you probably saw before, there's two corporates here. There's another corporate right here, and then this corporate would stay over there, but this one was going up the ramp. As I mentioned before, the ramp can be raised. You just have to be below ground to raise it. That's why I couldn't raise it before. But it does stay upwards like that. You just have to lock it in place there. There you can see it does stay just like that. I'll unlock it. Set it down there. And that's how it would look, the ramp part. And then on the sides here you can see the droid troop mechanisms right there. I only have one loaded on each side because the droids aren't anticipating a huge attack to be ready soon. But there are enough to deploy. You have 3 there and 3 there, so a total of 6 sets of these. So there's sets of 2. So that's 12 droid carriers, and each one has 4 droids on it. So that's 48 droids to be deployed. You also have 6 staffs above and 4 corporate alliance tank droids. So it's a pretty massive army that you have there. And now let's take off this final floor and look below it. And here's the final part of the MOC. And this is the mine. So as you can see, there's the jail part, and that leads right into the mine here. You can see there's a bunch of gems on the wall, some rocks there. And here you can see they are clone faces in there, in the mining gear, the special mining gear, because again, there's a lot of fumes. So they want to preserve the clones so they don't have to keep capturing more prisoners. You can see a commander droid right there with some little mech helpers. And it's the exact same on this side. And you can see I emptied out the other minecart because that's the one we brought above ground. But this one over here is still on the tracks. And this can slide down. It can also slide all the way over here. So that's really cool. There's another track right over there. And here we can look again at this side of the mine. You can see that, again, that rock formation right there. And then it's just a little cutout right there. So now I'm going to give a final overview of the MOC. Here you can see again the entire prison. Then we go into the mine. The floor above that is the hangar, which is now taken apart. You can see it over there. And that is the mechanism right there for the ramp. And then over here, this would be the level above here. We have the kind of security area. We have the armory, just some security checkpoints. We have the beginnings of the workings of making the gold bars right there. You can see the gems being dumped down there from that crane. Coming over here, we have the second floor of that. Another control area. Then we have the power plant. And finally, we have the mountain there. So that does it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out my channel for some other awesome LEGO videos. And of course, have a great day.